God chooses to have mercy on some and to harden others. Now, your question might be, well, hang on a second. Why would God choose one over the other? Why choose Isaac over Ishmael? Why choose Jacob over Esau? Is that fair? Well, notice verse 14. Paul anticipates this. Paul says, what shall we say then? Is there injustice on God's part? Now, the translation I'm reading from gives a very emphatic answer to that question. Is there injustice on God's part? It says, by no means. Right? God is not unjust. Right? It was not unjust for God to choose Isaac over Ishmael. It was not unjust for God to choose Jacob over Esau. That was not unjust. In fact, nothing God does is ever unjust. Other translations, the NIV says, not at all, in answer to the question. The Christian Standard Bible says, absolutely not. The New Living Translation says, of course not. It's an emphatic denial. God is not unjust. Notice what he says at verse 15, for he says to Moses, and this is coming from Exodus 33, verse 19. He says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I have compassion. God chooses who He's going to have mercy on. God chooses who He's going to have compassion on. Verses 16 and 17, so that it depends not on human will or exertion, but on God who has mercy. So in other words, the recipients of mercy, those who receive God's compassion, it is not because of their effort, it's not because of their own doing, but rather it is because of God's decision. So God's mercy is extended to people not on the basis of what they've done, but rather is extended to people on the basis of what God decides to do.